Joe Schoen just reopened the most emotional debate in modern Giants football, and nobody is seeing what it really means. This is not just about Odell Beckham Jr. This is not just about highlights, old memories, or fans wanting one more Big Blue reunion. This is about Jaxson Dart. This is about John Harbaugh. This is about whether the New York Football Giants are building a disciplined new identity or still tempted by the electricity of the old one. Schoen indicated that talks with free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. will continue. That does not mean OBJ is signed. It does not mean a deal is close. But it absolutely means the door is not shut. And that is where this gets real. Because if Beckham comes back, it cannot be nostalgia. It has to be football. That is the line Schoen cannot cross. Let's be honest about where things stand. The holes are clear, and this is where it gets real. The Giants' offense still has questions around Jaxson Dart. A young starting quarterback cannot live on theory. He cannot develop properly if every passing option depends on upside, projection, or hope. He needs reliability. He needs timing. He needs receivers who understand leverage, coverage, pressure, and late-down football. The Giants also have a trust problem at wide receiver. Not every player in that room has proven he can be the same answer every week. Not every option gives Dart the veteran calm that young quarterbacks need when the pocket gets loud. That matters because unreliable targets do not just kill drives. They slow quarterback growth. They make a young passer hold the ball. They turn manageable downs into survival plays. The Giants also have a philosophy problem to solve. John Harbaugh is not here to build a nostalgia museum. He is here to build a tougher, more disciplined football team. Every veteran addition has to fit that standard. That is where OBJ becomes complicated. Odell Beckham Jr. is not just a free agent receiver. He is memory. He is emotion. He is debate. He is one of those names that instantly splits Giants fans into two camps. One side wants the spark back. The other side sees a trap. That question matters because the Giants cannot afford emotional shortcuts anymore. They need answers, not applause. And that brings us to what just happened. The headline is simple. Joe Schoen did not close the door on Odell Beckham Jr. That sentence has real weight. Because when a general manager keeps talks alive with a free agent receiver this emotionally connected to the franchise, it tells you the conversation is more than background noise. Again, let me be clear. OBJ is not signed. The Giants have not announced a reunion. This is not a done deal. That overlay matters because there is a massive difference between continued talks and a completed move. Continued talks mean option. A completed move means commitment. Right now, Schoen is keeping the option alive. And I actually think that part is smart. Good front offices do not close doors just to make fans comfortable. They gather options. They test markets. They keep veteran possibilities alive while they evaluate the roster around them. That is exactly what Schoen should be doing. But here is where the story gets deeper. This is not cosmetic. This is a test of philosophy. Does Schoen want OBJ because the receiver room needs a veteran piece around Jaxson Dart? Or does he want OBJ because Odell Beckham Jr. still makes Giants fans feel something? Those are two completely different reasons. One is roster building. The other is nostalgia. And the Giants cannot confuse them. This is the part nobody is talking about. OBJ coming back only makes sense if he helps the new Giants, not if the Giants are trying to relive the old ones. Harbaugh's team is supposed to be tougher, more physical, more disciplined, more serious about roles. If Beckham fits that, then the conversation deserves respect. If he does not, then it becomes a headline move without a foundation. And Big Blue has had enough of those. So when Schoen says talks will continue, I do not hear a promise. I hear a challenge. Can Odell Beckham Jr. be useful in this new era? And when you connect that question to Jaxson Dart, everything clicks. The OBJ conversation only matters if it connects to Jaxson Dart, because Dart is the current Giants starting quarterback. That is the center of the entire offensive plan. Not nostalgia, not jersey sales, not old highlights. Jaxson Dart. A young starting quarterback needs help that makes his Sundays easier. That can mean separation. It can mean experience. It can mean a receiver who knows where to sit against zone coverage. It can mean a veteran who does not panic in a high-leverage moment. That phrase matters because every offensive decision now has to pass one test. Does this help Dart? If the answer is yes, keep talking. If the answer is no, walk away. That is why I am not automatically against an OBJ reunion. I know some fans are tired of the topic. I get it. Every time his name comes up, it feels like the franchise is being dragged back into an old emotional loop. But the question cannot be, are we tired of hearing about Odell? The question has to be, can he still serve a defined football role? If Beckham can come in as a useful veteran receiver, understand his role, compete under Harbaugh's standard, and help Dart with pressure downs, then that is worth exploring. If he needs the offense to orbit around him, then no. Hard pass. Now here is the piece that ties everything together. Harbaugh's Giants cannot treat any veteran like an exception. That includes OBJ. The locker room message matters. If young players see a famous name get special treatment, that undercuts the whole identity. But if they see a famous name compete, work, and earn his role, that can actually raise the standard. That is the difference between celebrity energy and football value. The real question is not whether the Giants will do it. It is what happens next if they do. This is where John Harbaugh becomes the proof. Because if Harbaugh signs off on an OBJ reunion, I do not think it will be because he is chasing the past. Harbaugh is not building that kind of team. He is building a roster around toughness, competition, and defined roles. That means Beckham would have to fit the new standard, not bend the standard around himself. That overlay matters because this is not the old Giants environment. This is not a team trying to survive on star power and emotional flashes. This is supposed to be a reset, a shift in philosophy, a real identity change. And that is why the OBJ debate is so fascinating. He represents electricity. Harbaugh represents structure. Can those two things coexist? I think they can, but only under strict terms. OBJ cannot be sold as the savior. He cannot be treated like the missing piece that magically fixes the offense. He cannot become the story bigger than Dart, bigger than Harbaugh, bigger than the locker room. He has to be a role player with name value. That is the honest version. If the Giants bring him in as a defined veteran option, that is not desperate. That is smart. But if they bring him in because fans miss the old spark, that is how teams fool themselves. This is the part nobody is paying attention to. The name is emotional. The decision has to be cold. Hot take. I would bring Odell Beckham Jr. back to the Giants, but only on a defined role with zero-star treatment. And I am not backing down from that. There it is. I am not saying build the offense around him. I am not saying give him anything because of old highlights. I am saying this. If OBJ can help Jaxson Dart on key downs, in specific packages, and as a veteran presence, the Giants should keep that door open. My prediction is specific. If Beckham signs with the Giants, he will catch at least 30 passes this season. That number matters because 30 catches is not superstar usage. It is useful veteran production. It means he helps the offense without hijacking it. If I am wrong, I will come back to this video and own it. But I do not think I am wrong. And here is the player take that will split the fan base. OBJ can help the Giants only if he accepts that this is Jaxson Dart's offense now. Not his. Not the past. Not the highlight reel. Dart's offense. That is the line. Big Blue is back at the table, but this time, nostalgia cannot be the plan. That is the identity statement. Odell Beckham Jr. still means something in New York. Joe Schoen keeping talks alive still matters. Jaxson Dart still needs help. John Harbaugh still needs a roster built on discipline, not emotion. So Giants fans, pick a side. Should Big Blue bring OBJ back as a useful veteran weapon for Dart? Or should the franchise close that chapter for good? Name your answer in the comments. If you are riding with the G-Men through every rumor, signing, roster move, and Harbaugh decision, you know where that subscribe button is. We break down every single move right here. Go Big Blue.